Soaring food prices have forced many households to be frugal this festive season. The latest food basket data from the Pietermaritzburg Economic Justice and Dignity Group indicates that food inflation will continue to soar in 2024. The data released last month showed that pantry essentials and vegetables continue to surge.
Despite global food prices retreating from 2022 highs driven by the COVID-19 pandemic, in South Africa, food prices hit a 14-year high. While core inflation cooled to 5.5% in November from 5.9% the month before, food inflation increased 9% year-on-year. The Pietermaritzburg Economic Justice and Dignity Coordinator, Mervyn Abrahams, warns this trend will continue at least in the first few months of the year.
Food prices, according to our index, increased by just over 10% over the last year. So if I could just mention to you some of the levels of increases we've seen. So for instance, on a basic food like rice, we've seen the price of rice increase by something like 22% over the last year. We have seen the price of eggs increased by something like 36%. We've seen potato prices increase by 102%. And even though maize prices have come down over the last month, it still is about 7% higher than it was a year ago. So food price inflation remains very high. It's the main contributor to the general inflation in South Africa, headline inflation. So what we are saying is that we do not expect the prices to decline by any significant means over the next 3 months. And so consumers need to be very careful as to how they buy and what they buy.
Abraham says the primary concern is the rate at which the price of even staple foods are increasing. Over the period, everything from potatoes and onions to sugar and cheese bread have jumped. Abrahams encourages households to consider supporting entrepreneurs in their local informal markets to cut down the price tag on their food baskets this year.
We can buy our fresh vegetables at the informal trader. We don't have to buy it in Woolworths. We don't have to buy it in any of these big retail stores. We can go to the informal traders because there you can buy really what you need. They will sell you 5 tomatoes if that's all you need. They will sell you 3 potatoes if that is all you need. And in fact, what you're doing is you're putting money into the informal economy, which is really where most of South Africa's poorest people are living at the moment.
According to Wonga's 6th annual summer spending survey, 224 billion rand was expected to be spent over the festive season. But this does reflect a 4.4% decline from the previous year. Affordability was a huge consideration, with more people expressing a desire for grocery vouchers over the season, emphasizing the need for practical gifts. Only 2 out of 10 people surveyed said they would be traveling over the period, with only 3 out of 10 having savings for holiday expenses, while 4 out of 10 relied on their year-end bonuses. There was also a significant jump from 27% to 32% of those surveyed turning to credit and loans. In a recent article on Stanlib's site, Chief Economist Kevin Lings highlighted a few factors that continue to drive inflation up and could see consumers continue to face rising prices in the new year, including a weaker rand, load shedding, the need for producers and retailers to restore profit margins, and deteriorating infrastructure. The country is on the back foot with at least 3 factors, such as load shedding that came back after the festive season, the rand that's kicked off the year with losses, and the freight and rail crisis that is not yet resolved. For Newzroom Afrika, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Johannesburg.